By the end of business on April 14th, I hope that you will either have agreed to debate me or publicly expressed your agreement with the above proposition, or begun conducting honest hearings in your role as chair of the House Judiciary Committee of a kind appropriate under the present circumstances for the House Committee responsible for bringing charges of impeachment. If you have done none of those things, I will instead shift my challenge to the Republican Party 6th District Committee. My challenge to them would be to send an individual of their choice to debate me publicly on the proposition Bob Goodlatte is violating his oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. This proposition, it should be noted, would follow from the first proposition. Any chair of the House Judiciary Committee who is not conducting the appropriate hearings investigating probable impeachable offenses by this president, given what is already publicly known, is ipso facto violating that oath of office. In that challenge, I will name the time and place for the debate, and I will be there regardless, ready to debate, or if the 6th District Committee fails to send someone to debate me, ready to deliver to the public and the press who attend the event a statement arguing that contrary to the oath, you are defending Trump and not the Constitution.
Take it to Bob.
And let me say, as one who has followed American politics very closely for a long time, there is no doubt in my mind that any person in Mr. Goodlatte's position who had integrity would already be making these kinds of inquiries. Yes. But we've already seen with the chair of the House Intelligence Committee that this party does not have that kind of integrity, with a few exceptions. But the House Judiciary Committee back in the days of Watergate had far less reason to believe that the President Nixon had committed impeachable offenses by the time that they began their inquiry. So this is a time where an oath of office, what does an oath of office mean? First of all, we should mark, it's not a casual thing. Our founders put it into the Constitution itself, and they did not waste words. This was not a verbose, they said to us in that way that the defending of the Constitution is a paramount necessity to be able to make use of the great gift that they gave us. And the other thing that an oath means is you are swearing solemnly that this is what you're going to do. It doesn't mean defend your party or defend your president. You defend the Constitution, because that is paramount. And it doesn't say...
The Constitution is paramount.
An oath means you're going to do it regardless. You have no exit. You don't say, if it's convenient, or if it serves my political ambitions. You do it regardless. That's what it has meant for 1,000 years. And that's what it means today. So, Mr. Goodlatte, we need you to honor your oath of office or be publicly shamed for letting us down and letting the founders down.
Yes! Let us down!
Do your job! Do your job!
Do your job, Bob.
Good job, Bob.
So that is the sum of what I feel needs to be said at this point. There will be another event later in April. We'll see whether it's with me and Mr. Goodlatte. We squared off 3 times back in 2012. I would welcome a chance to go up against him toe-to-toe. He may have won the election, but he did not win the debates, and he surely would not win this one.
Yeah!
And if he doesn't debate me, there will still be an event, and I hope you will all attend that too.
Yes.
Yeah!
At this point, we have at least two people from the press, and I would I would welcome questions from you now or do an interview after. And And if you have questions, ask them now, or I will entertain any questions from the people in attendance.
It's easier for us to do it after with the microphones.
Same, yeah. Anybody here want to say something to have me respond to, or ask something directly?
Thanks for doing this, Andy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it needs to be done.
Very proud of you for having the courage and the well put together words to present this.
Thank you.
We've had way too much truthiness out of this administration, and
Good,
I'm
Bob.
sick of it.
I've just delivered an oration for the ages.
It's good for my age.
Oration for people with an average age of, well, forget it.
68 and a half.
You're not an audio or video recording person.
I'm not.
So,
What did you say?
Send him an
Wave the tape.
dearly beloved, we are gathered here together to see if we can get Bob Goodlatte to defend the Constitution rather than a president for partisan reasons. So, do you want to ask any? You've
Well,
seen the
I mean, I
challenge.
got your press release, but
Yeah.
what is your specific? You say that
And you remember just
Trump with the Constitution.
Well, we have substantial reason to believe, and the reasons gathered continuously to believe that the Trump campaign is inner circle, including people he has been associated with for decades, like Paul Manafort and Roger Stone, not strangers to him, and the brother of his Secretary of Education. Oops. We have just gathered, the picture is gathering that is so substantial that we have every reason to believe that not only were the Russians meddling in our camp election, not only were they trying to help Donald Trump to win, but that Donald Trump's people were engaged in a collusion on that. We don't know. I'm not saying he should be impeached right now, but there's plenty of room to justify an inquiry to see if impeachable offenses. And by the way, it's interesting that a majority of the American people think that the mere fact that if it can be established that his people colluded, a majority believe that he should resign on that account.
Yes.
Yes.
My guess
We've had any
We're part of that group.
I don't know if we're going to have a Nixon's tape that shows the president's role, but I would wager that if Donald Trump didn't know what his people were doing, he's not competent to be president. I don't think that's going to be the case. But
You've got the Senate Intelligence Committee who appears to be bipartisan, Mark Warner and Senator Burr. Aren't you confident they'll get to the bottom of it?
Well, we'll see what happens.
Are you asking Congressman Goodlatte to
In the days of Watergate, Peter Rodino was the chair of he was in the position that Bob Goodlatte now occupies. He was not a Republican, he was a Democrat, but he was a patriot. When Richard Nixon, because of the crimes that his committee helped to uncover, had to resign, Rodino didn't celebrate, he cried. He was conducting hearings while the Senate under Senator Ervin from North Carolina was also conducting hearings. We don't just have one house of Congress protecting and defending the Constitution. We have both houses of Congress.
Not now.
No, but I mean, that's what how it's supposed to work. And it's particularly important if this is, I forgot to complete what I was saying about the Russia thing. The emoluments clause is explicit in the Constitution.
Big deal.
So we have two different reasons for thinking that high crimes and misdemeanors is no exaggeration. So if this were an ordinary crime with an ordinary defendant, I've watched enough Law and Order to know that a grand jury would be ready to bring the indictment now. The Senate does the trial.
What would you charge President Trump with?
Well, violating the emoluments clause
Yeah.
almost seems like a slam dunk.
Yeah.
And he was warned before he was even inaugurated. You've got to do this, this, and this by the Governmental Ethics Office. He was warned by it, disregarded it. I don't know if there's any question. And also George W. Bush's ethics advisor, attorney named Painter, has been quite out there,
Oh, yes.
along with his counterpart from the Obama administration, warning since well before the inauguration that if he doesn't do what he has failed to do, he will be in violation of the
Just
emoluments
because of
clause.
conflicts of interest?
Well, we have reason to believe that he, not only has he not avoided the appearance of conflicts of interest, there have been things happening with respect to Turkey, Argentina, China, Great Britain, and I think maybe a few others that are already visible to us, where it appears that he is enriching himself by virtue of what he's doing. The president has always divested himself in our lifetime because there shouldn't even be the possibility that he will be representing his own interests at the expense of the country. But Donald Trump is clearly not following that edict, and the Constitution has a clause in it which he is, I think, fairly clearly in violation of. Violating the Constitution is no small thing. If we let things pass, how many norms have we allowed to be violated and be rewarded with the presidency?
Yes.
We didn't used to have people insulting other candidates, but we hadn't used to have a candidate, 70% of whose remarks, when fact-checked, turn out to be mostly or completely false. If we allow those norms and then also allow the Constitution to be violated, we are allowing our country to be degraded, and this is something we really cannot tolerate. And does anybody have any question in their mind whether if Hillary Clinton had been elected president and she had a fraction of the evidence of wrongdoing, that Bob Goodlatte would be conducting hearings now? This has to be, an oath of office has to be beyond party. But these days, as newness shows, there are a lot of people who don't ever go beyond party.
Yeah.
Andy, has there ever been a president that has had as very important and a chief advisor to him inexperienced and unelected family members in the White House?
Jack Kennedy appointed his brother Attorney General.
But he was well-educated and experienced in what he was doing. Does Jared Kushner and Ivanka
He was a good
have-
Attorney General as far as I know.
Yeah, but I mean, do they have international negotiation and military knowledge?
I'm not aware of precedents for this. There's all too much in recent years has been unprecedented, including not allowing a president to fill a vacancy on the Supreme Court simply for a cascade of bogus reasons.
Right.
You know, we have a framework for operating, and that framework has been damaged, and it's continuing to be damaged. And Mr. Goodlatte is in a position to help staunch the bleeding from the document our founders gave us.
What about his failure to reveal his taxes?
Well, that's connected with the emoluments clause, because we already know a great number of conflicts of interest, even though we have a very incomplete picture of what all his interests are. He's the only president in our life since 1971 to, Nixon and everybody since Nixon have disclosed their taxes. Every president, I believe, in the modern era has divested themselves and put their holdings in a blind trust. It turns out that his blind trust is no blind trust.
No.
News just yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What are you hoping to hear from Congressman Goodlatte? Yes or no?
Well,
You want
Mr.
the debate first of all.
Well, I'm challenging him. I would like to hear. What do I expect to hear from him?
You want.
The Where's Bob movement, which I